Hi, so this video, this is for all the people who have messaged me via Instagram asking kind of how I would prepare a tapestry in order to then cut up and use to make something out of it. It's actually very straightforward and easy, but I think there's a bit of a fear of kind of cutting into something like this and it all going all over the place and kind of that. So I'm just going to show you how I do it, and also I'm going to use this one because it's so skew width. So I'm going to kind of show you how to get this back into a square so we can use it. So first I'm going to wash it. You do need to have a wool wash on your machine. The reason for using a wool wash, because a wool wash is about 30 or 40 degrees, but it's not so much the temperature that damages wool, it's the spin and the kind of the heavy bashing. No, like this, you know, the spinning, the movement, let's say. A wool wash goes around a lot slower and a lot more gently. It's kind of a bit more like hand washing. What I'm saying is, like, don't just put it in on any wash on a 30 or 40, because that's not, it has to be a particular wool wash if your machine has that. If not, you're probably going to want a hand wash. So yeah, let's take this to the washing machine. Okay, I'm just using my normal detergent. Okay, this is a bit random, but you know when you get that fusty smell from vintage fabrics, sometimes it's quite hard to get rid of. So I just like to do, because I've got a curtain in there as well that smells a bit vintagey, I just put a squirt of washing up liquid in. Okay, so I'm going for number 9 here, the wool wash. It's the next day now. I took this out of the washing machine yesterday. It smells nice, so that's good, and it's clean. It's quite bumpy still, and obviously we've got quite a ridiculous diagonal slant going on. I guess I might be wrong, but I think because if you're going like sewing along a line each time and you're pulling it that way, pulling it that way, pulling it that way, I think after a while you just keep pulling it over to one side and that's what makes it like that. I could be wrong, but anyway, we are going to want it square before we cut it. So we're going to do this on the ironing board and we're going to steam it into place. So let's get the ironing board out. It's really raining outside now. Pins. Pinsy, pinsy, pinsies. Where are the pins? Have I put my pins? I can't find my pins. I feel like, I normally put them here. I feel like what might have happened is I've left them out and my partner's been like, oh, she's left her pins out, because we've got a 2-year-old. So he's like put them out of reach somewhere. But like, he's actually just hidden them from me. Okay, here they were. That wasn't actually him, that was me, I think. Anyway, so you're gonna need some pins. Hopefully yours are easy to locate. Okay then, so get your tapestry, get your iron, that's another thing you'll need, with a lot of water in. Now, I'm having a bit of a problem with my iron because I think we've got a lot of hard water and I didn't want to you know, buy iron water or buy water in a plastic bottle, you know. I didn't want to do that. So I've came up with this quite good idea. Actually, I've not implemented it yet. I've recently came across these. They kind of clear your water. It's just charcoal or something, and you put it in your water. So I'm kind of thinking what I might do now is constantly have a jug of this in the fridge for my iron. And we can just drink the rubbish water, I guess. Anyone else have this issue and how do you overcome it? Anyway, for now I've just got hard water in my iron. Either way, we're going to need a lot of water in our iron because we're going to steam it quite a lot. You can put it on a high heat. I usually go for second to top. So this is the way I get it into shape. I don't know if it's the best way, but it's what I do and it seems to work. What I'm doing is I'm pinning one corner to my ironing board and I'm going to pin this corner. It's a lot of jiggery pokery, this, to be honest. And basically you can see it's quite like a feat because I use this piece of card. We're going to want that to be right angle there, and you can see it's way off. Basically what we're going to do, we're just going to keep pulling and steaming. So let's start over this corner. I'm doing it on the wrong side, you know, because anything funny comes out of your iron, which mine it probably will. When you're ironing wool, you don't want to move it all over the wool. You want to put it down, steam, lift up, move it. Put it down, steam, lift up, move it. Because again, like with the washing, you don't want to be ragging it all over the place. Pulling this over to the corner, holding it down, kind of gonna try and keep this lined up at the top here. So what I'm doing here is I'm kind of concentrating, I guess, firstly on this line going down here, pulling it this way, steaming, and press with your steam thing as well. Oh no, you see that's my hard water coming out. And then I'm going to pin here now, because this corner is looking quite good. I'm going to pin it all along. You'll start to get a feel for it. At the beginning, the first time you do it, you'll be pinning this here, pulling that there, pinning this here, and that's how you're going to kind of get a feel for what you're actually doing. I've also found that some corners are just not going to cooperate. You can only do your best. This one's looking like could be one of them. So you see I've pinned it across there and I'm pulling this over to this side, try and make it square, and you can see all these big kind of wrinkles. Just pop your iron down flat on there and kind of steam it. Oh no, you can see it's like all over the place. I'm just going to do my best. Just always kind of pulling it square and pressing down hard with your steamy iron, really. It takes a while. You can see this half's kind of looking great and this half's looking not so much. We're just kind of moving over. I'm going to go down this bit now. This is probably one of the most diagonal ones I've come across, so it's quite a good one to show you with, to be fair. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. I'm pretty happy with this corner, and these two, I think I'm just not going to be able to get those into right angles, to be honest, because they're a bit far gone. But on the whole, it's looking a lot better. So now I'm going to show you basically how I would take this and cut out a piece to use in, say, a bag. So for example, if I'm making a backpack, I want the front piece of it to be tapestry. So I'm going to cut that pattern piece out obviously in my tapestry. So if I get my, should be up here. Whoopee, everything goes. Okay. So for example, this I want in the tapestry. This is the front part of a backpack. I'm going to cut this out in interfacing first. Okay, so that's that piece cut out of there. This is iron-on, so fusible interfacing as well. That's important because it's quite good using this as well, actually, because you can see through it, so you can decide where you want to put it. Obviously, in the interest of not wasting any of this, going to be putting it in a corner because I'll want to use the rest for bum bags and what have you. So I'm thinking that's pretty because you've got that and that as well, which is really pretty. On the other side, we're going to place the sticky side, which is a bit rougher, straight over there. You can see how that corners. And I'm just going to iron this on. With my interfacing as well, I want to kind of always keep that moving because otherwise it'll shrivel up and try and stick to your iron and all of that. Okay, cool, that's definitely stuck on. So quite simply, I'm just going to cut this out now because I think that this is where the fear comes, is that you imagine the whole thing's just going to kind of unravel as soon as you cut into it, which actually surprisingly isn't really the case. So yeah, I'm just going to cut round my interfacing bit. There we go, and then With my leftover bit, I'm going to carefully fold that up, and I keep them somewhere in a box up there just because I don't want that getting kind of tossed about and stuff, because then it probably would start to unravel a bit. So now this, I would simply just overlock around all the edges, and then there's your pattern piece. It's good to go. It's good to sew with. It's just like any other piece of fabric. And I appreciate you might not all have overlockers, so I'm going to show you what I would do if I didn't. I'm going to get my domestic machine out. Okay, so just sew all the way around the edge here. Okay, and then I would go to a zigzag. I'm just going to zigzag around that. That's just going to catch all your threads down and make sure nothing's going anywhere. And nothing more needs doing of this. This I can now use as a valid piece of my backpack. So yeah, I hope you found that video useful, and feeling like it's still quite new to me, like explaining things to people, and I really hate it when I watch YouTube videos, because I watch them a lot for trying to find out kind of things to do with computers and stuff, and they kind of whiz through a load of steps, and I'm like, whoa, what happened there? Sometimes people think something's really obvious, but it's not to me. That happens a lot. I'd love your feedback if you think I need to explain some things a bit more or anything like that, because I was like, I'm going to explain every little thing in my YouTube videos because I hate it when people don't, but it's a kind of, I'm finding out that's actually harder than it looks. So yeah, I'd appreciate your feedback anyway. Thank you for watching if you've got this far.